We're going live now. Hello, hello, everyone. You are now live with Dave Jose. I have a special guest on for you guys. We got Big Bobby from the East Coast. Bobby, can you tell the people a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm a martial artist, and that's what I do. I have a martial arts school, and I've been doing that for 30 years, just about. And that's what I do. That's what I love to do. I love helping people like that. Um, but with everything going on and stuff, that made it difficult with all this COVID stuff that happened, and these restrictions and mandates and everything, and I think we all know that they're not valid. None of it's valid.
Mhm.
It's just their suggestions and everything. And, it doesn't apply to me. And I understand a lot of that, but I didn't know how to apply any of that knowledge.
Mhm.
So, but one day, after our businesses were shut down for almost 2 months,
Now you're in the East
couldn't.
Coast, right? Just so the people know.
New Jersey, yeah, I'm in New
Yes, sir.
Jersey. So we were shut down. It was almost 2 months that we were shut down. That when nothing was going on. There's no teaching, and I'm watching kids are deteriorating around me left and right and stuff. So
Wow.
it was just a horrible situation. I had parents calling me and telling me that their kids are afraid to touch things in their house and everything because they couldn't go anywhere, they couldn't do anything. There was just nothing for anybody to do. So I made a decision, for the sake of my business and for for all my students and stuff like that. It was, we had to do something. We had to open back up. Something had to be done. But so I unlocked the doors, but I was like, all right, what's going to happen here? But then before really anything got started, I was like, we kept looking around and we saw, and I found you. I There was an interview with you and Josh on Josh Barnett on was it Monday night? I don't want to say Monday Night Raw or something like that.
Mhm.
But it was something like that, like something like Monday Night Raw. But I know that's wrestling, but it was something like that. And and you guys were on there, and you were explaining about PMAs, and I was like, this is what we need. This is what I need because I couldn't really function. We were doing things, but we couldn't really be the right way because everybody had to wear masks and everybody had to be distanced and this and that. It was just like it was, to even make it where nobody would call and come into my school and bother me and things like that. So, when I called you and I spoke with you. We were on the phone, I think, a couple of hours that night,
Wait,
going
wait,
over.
wait. We actually got on the phone and we spoke for a couple of hours, and nothing, no money has changed hands yet.
That's
Like
correct.
we really talked about like life and law and stuff.
I believe it was like 3 hours, and you gave me tons of information on that phone call. As a matter of fact, you actually connected a lot of dots for me on that phone call that I didn't have connected prior, and that was only the start of the dots that you've connected for me over over the course of the time that I've known you now. Um, and so then I got with you and I did the PMA thing, and I did that with you, and you sent me everything. It was easy. It took.
Yeah, so it wasn't like an attorney program or something where it's sophisticated. You can't figure out what you're doing. You can't learn how to actually take the action and fight. It was actually kind of easy.
Oh, the hardest part for me was trying to get the Cash App on my phone.
So
As a
let me ask
matter
you
of
this:
fact, that was
you
the hardest part.
so
So
did you send notices to the government?
I did. I did. I
Wait, wait,
sent.
wait, hold on, wait. Let me just make sure everybody understand what we're about to say here. So, pretty much, I've had it where people in my life who are attorneys or school trained people, they say that the type of stuff that I do will get you laughed out of court, or government officials won't respect you. It won't work. It doesn't make sense in the law. So you have real world experience though. This isn't just like theory. This isn't imagination. This isn't some type of theory of some conspiracy garbage. Is this really like something you did in real life?
Oh, 100%. I mean, my business wouldn't be here right now if I waited. If I followed the government, I probably wouldn't still have a business right now. I will.
Mm.
Well, I call it a business, but it's not. I have an association, but I wouldn't have that. My school wouldn't be helping anybody at this moment in time.
Wait, it's funny you said that because you said I don't have a business, I have an association. So it almost seems like the words that you say matter. Now, why did you correct that for the people? I know you're a man that teaches people, so I saw what you did. I just want to understand, why did you change that?
Well, because it's not a business. It's not a business is in the public domain, and associations are in the private domain. And if we
Wow.
remain in the private domain, all of our rights are that we set aside that told the government they can't touch, they can't touch. In the
Wow.
public, if we enter ourselves into the public, which we have the right to do because we have all the power, we can do whatever we want. So
Yes,
we can
sir.
enter into that public if we want to, but we have to go, right? Buyer beware. You're going into the public, and then you better know that, hey, there's a lot of rules that go along with being in the public, and you better
Mhm.
follow them. Otherwise, you know, daddy government's going to come and get you.
Let me
And
ask you.
that's good.
No, I was going to ask you a question about that. So you spoke about the difference between like the public and the private, and then you said that there's certain rules. Now, when you opened up your business at first as an LLC, S corp, C corp, whatever, did they give you full disclosure that they might change the rules on you if something happens?
Oh, absolutely not. They explain nothing to you. Of course not. Just like in
Oh,
everything that they try to get you to do with the government, none of it's ever explained to you, and you have no idea the contracts and agreements that you're getting yourself into. And every single time you're dealing with anything that has to do with any kind of government, anything.
mhm.
So
Wow.
this was
So
just another one.
when you started changing your words and stuff like that, and changing the like I tell people, jurisdiction is juris, law or right, diction, words. So the words you say is going to determine where you end up. When you started changing the jurisdiction by changing the words you used and put them on notice, first of all, what did that experience feel like to know that you were not dealing with what the government said, and then you put a notice together to tell them you're not doing it, and then telling them they need to let you know if you're doing wrong? How did that feel? How did that go?
I like to tell people, I'm like, it's it's like when Dorothy pulls the curtain behind it pulls the curtain and sees that the great and powerful Oz is nothing more than a midget with a megaphone. And you're a king.
Oh my gosh. Do y'all hear this man? This is a martial arts instructor. And look at what he's giving you guys. He's letting you guys know that you don't have to be afraid of these entities that's trying to attack you when you have knowledge to know what's going on. And remember, every notice that this man sends out, the bar attorneys get it. If they had the power to argue and talk junk, they would. But did they do that? Continue to explain, actually. Continue to go.
So now once I sent this all out, and I sent it out to um, the chief of police, the sheriff, the attorney general, and the governor. They all got the notice. Sent it out to them, and then I just went back to normal in my school. We're a
Mhm.
mixed martial arts school. I'm on 2 highways. It's all glass. Everybody can see everything, especially at night when the lights are on.
You almost made me
Everybody
spit out my coffee. Go
everybody
ahead. I'm
can
sorry.
see everybody can see everything. We're like in a big fishbowl, the students say, like, oh, it's like a big fishbowl. It's like lit up in the day. We had people rolling around, grappling. We had people, which is like wrestling for anybody that doesn't know, sparring, no masks, no distancing, no nothing. It's like inside the school, none of that COVID existed. It just didn't exist.
Wait, it's almost like a free world to yourself, to other
Yeah,
people? Holy
yeah.
moly.
Believe it or not, right? It can happen, right? So, of course, somebody brings to my attention, they were talking about it on like one of the township text lines and stuff. It's called a patch here, where just people in the town, oh, how come nobody's wearing masks there? Blah, 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 blah. And and people actually, there ended up being an argument back and forth with people, because there were other people that jumped on and said, why do you care if you're not going? Then don't go. Leave them alone if they want to go. If they're happy, leave them be. But anyway, of course, somebody had called, and the cops had come, but they didn't come. They came before the hours that the school was open. They come early in the morning, but the school's open in the evening because, people are supposed to be in school and work, but, so we weren't open in the morning. But they came and they saw the door notice, because there's a notice on the door letting them know 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. If you come here, this is a private association. We are in the private. If you basically, so stay out if you're not a member, right? This is for members only. They took a picture of it. They took it back to the chief of police, and the chief of police looked at it. He must have associated it with your notice, because he looked at the officers and said, and I'll tell you how I know all this too. He looked at the officers and said, don't go there again. If the prosecutor wants to mess with that guy, he can do it himself.
Woo! Wait, so the chief of police didn't laugh at it and say, that's sovereign citizen stuff. You can't say that to us. We're the bosses.
No. And
that almost sound like remedy, bro. Like that almost sound like you got a solution to what you were looking for almost. But keep going. This is good. And tell us how you know.
Well, one of my students is a police officer in town. And he heard before he found out that they came and went and talked to them before he even saw me again. And he found out all this and came in my office and sat down. And he's like, I just want to tell you something, Sensei. He's like, they're not coming back here.
But wait, so we dropped fire notices on the police, on the sheriff, on the government offices with simple notices teaching them the freaking law that the attorneys never taught them. And they realize you better not bring your anus back, right?
It gets better, because you said before that, like that, oh, it's going to be disrespected. They're not going to respect it, right? On the contrary, he specifically told me that they respected the fact that I sent them notice, told them what I was going to do, and then opened up my doors and did it right in their face, and didn't try to bring people in the back door and hide my windows and this and that. He's like, you didn't tape up your windows. He goes, we call people taping windows and stuff. He told me they just busted a school down the road because they were taped up their windows, bringing people in the back door and stuff. He's like, they respected the fact that you just told them what you were going to do, opened up your doors and said, come on in.
Now, that's a funny concept, bro, because I tell people all over, they're like, oh, there's no way, Dave, that you could fight this way. There's no way that you could stand up and let the government know what you're going to do. You got to hide it. This can't be real. It got to be a scam. I'm like, I'm going to go right in the government's face, knock on the door, come in with a freaking scroll of everything I'm going to do, challenge them and tell them to bring the smoke if they want to. And that's what people don't realize, is that we get attorneys saying, oh, that doesn't have any teeth because you don't have a sheriff to go tell you. It got enough teeth to make their sheriff say, we ain't coming, right? We are not messing with that dude. So this isn't the first time that happened, but remedy is simply a solution. Legal remedy is using the law in order to get a solution. So we get the Constitution, we get the law and drop it on these people's face. Now, you're all the way in Jersey. Did you know me before this?
Not at all.
I love martial arts, and I would have loved to met you and have you teach me how to roll and be a bad mama jamma, but I haven't been blessed with that opportunity yet. But you didn't come to me because we were just friends and cool or anything like that. You came because you saw something and you recognized truth from some of the knowledge you had already.
100%.
Is that true? Okay.
100%.
So then you took what I said and you tested it against the knowledge you have, and you tested it to see if it was really in the law, right?
I did.
Was there anything in any notice, any law, anything I said to you ever at all that was not in the law?
No.
So you can find one thing.
Everything was backed up.
Okay.
Everything was right there.
And when you used it, the actual police who have the guns, who would like to come jack you and just jack somebody down the street, realized that your notice taught them what the law was, and they had no standing against you, and they actually appreciated you showing them the truth, huh?
Absolutely. And
What
I
a
thought it was
crazy
very
concept.
telling when the 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 I think the ultimate test is when we put the police in a certain position, and then it was either one of the people versus their boss, the prosecutor, who tells them what to do, and he chose to say the prosecutor can do it on his own.
I'll pass. I'm good. Woo, it was all funny until he came with that smoke, right?
And through the knowledge that, so I took the same knowledge that you gave, and and used the same philosophy, but manipulated it a little bit for a different situation in the next town over, which is the one I live in.
Wow.
So there was an issue with going into a store with masks and yada, yada, yada. And this was, months and months ago. Before, I know you have mask notices out now, but before this, there was none. And I had contacted the town because the police had told the business kicked me out for not having a mask. And the police had told them they had the right to, because they were private. So,
bro,
wait a minute.
You got to break that down, because now y'all didn't catch what he said right there, but he gonna tell y'all, because this man is brilliant. He's not just a student and a teacher of martial arts. This man is a student of law and everything he does. So, see, it's good when you don't hear me say it, because there's some people who are better than me at a lot of things, that are the fierce fighters that Josh Barnett and I connected with, who lets you see how powerful God is. This man is one of them. I can tell you, when you hear him talk, listen to his words closely, because he's going to tear some stuff down that's going to make you say, holy crap. You got to hear this story, because he didn't tell me yet. I'm getting to hear it too and learn. So watch this, y'all. Watch how powerful this man is.
So I was kicked out, and I didn't argue with the store, because honestly, I don't think the store is the problem, really. They're a problem because they're uneducated, but I don't want to harm them, really, unless, especially a local guy, right? But anyway, so I walked out, and I didn't have a problem, and I left, but I was very upset because, the cops told him that he had the right to kick me out because he was private. And I knew damn well he wasn't private.
Wait, so he's one of them people who calls himself a private business, right?
Right, just because he's a guy that has a business, and I'm like, but okay, so then if you're private, then why are you listening to these mandates if you could do whatever you want, right? So it doesn't make sense. They're not even stopping and thinking about their own words that they're using, So I decided, well, I'm going to write the town. So I wrote the mayor, and I said, I have a problem with this. I'm like, it sounds like first of all, it sounds like the police are practicing, a law without a license, and they're giving advice that's not even correct to these people. That's wrong.
Ooh.
So, and I I explained everything, and I basically took what's in the the PMA stuff, the information that's in there, explaining in the notice what a private is, and said, this is what private is. They're not. If they asked you for permission to be there, and they have a CO, and you needed to tell them it was okay to unlock their doors, they can't be private.
That's right.
So,
smoke.
If anybody can pull into the parking lot and walk in here and then purchase something off of that rack, they're not private. They're open to the public. So they cannot, now they can't, now they can't, now they're discriminating. If they're a public accommodation, then they can't be discriminated.
Why?
This is a problem, And I said, even the executive order, because if you read the executive orders, these guys who wrote them, they're not idiots. They left their outs. It says, even in New Jersey with Murphy, it says that if it inhibits your health, you don't have to wear it. And any previous law withstanding
Woo!
isn't
Oh,
affected by this mandate.
oh, did y'all
Well,
hear what this man just said? Y'all, what he's dropping right now, y'all, is such fire. You don't want to miss this. He just showed y'all how they put together crafty statutes that the jurisdiction lets you know that you don't have to do it in the statute, so you can't put them in prison. This is New Jersey, guys. New Jersey, where they put together the mandates, they left outs in there so you couldn't say they forced you to do it. It was your own choice.
That's
Listen
right.
to this man, y'all. He's dropping fire. Go ahead, brother.
Which, by the way, real quick, is a manipulation of words. It's just the words you use, right? What you were talking about earlier, right? So I wrote the town, I explained all this stuff, and the guy who it was, the mayor sent it to, whoever the liaison is or whatever, and that guy read it and sent it to the law department.
Uh-oh.
And the law department responded. And this wonderful man did such a wonderful thing. He forwarded me the lawyer's response. So I got to read exactly what the lawyer said. And which of course was another manipulation of words, but the basic, what he said was, we can't give
legal advice.
This guy legal advice.
Boom! How did I know what they would say?
But we can't say that he wouldn't have a case if he were to push this issue.
Who wouldn't have a case?
Me. They're saying that they can't say that I would not.
Oh, they can't say, yeah, of course.
Right. They're saying that. So basically, he admitted that everything that I put in there was correct.
Yeah, he didn't say this is sovereign citizen stuff that don't count, that would never matter. He said, I can't give you legal advice, but your anus might be in trouble if he come after you.
That's
might
correct. Be. Exactly. That's right. So basically, probably tell
whoa,
the cops.
Whoa. Hold on, wait. I got to stop you for a second. One of my all-time favorite heroes is on the show. I can't even believe it. Her name is Tammy, and she has a show that actually showed me how to use LumaFusion. And I edit all my videos based on what Tammy, I don't know how to say her last name. See, is it Sipanuski? She says it all the time. She's a lady who says, always wear your sunblock. But she is one of the best teachers in the world when it comes to YouTube people who teach you how to do stuff with movies. So I have to give a shout out to her. She is awesome. Watched a lot of her videos, learned how to cut up a lot of stuff and do a lot of stuff. That's why I bought LumaFusion. And that's why I'm doing better editing on videos, because of that woman right there. All right, so let me put her up here so everybody can see her. Keep going, Bobby. Thank you, Tammy.
Awesome. Well, I mean, that was pretty much towards the end anyway, because I mean, that's basically what wasn't going to get much more from them. They were, they said, they were like, you're right. You don't have to wear it. And he gave me suggestions. Well, excuse me. One of the suggestions the lawyer gave me was, maybe you should send them notice and tell them about the situation and explain to them like you did to us.
Wait, maybe you should send them notice like I already sent them notice.
Right. That's what he said. Maybe you should explaining everything to them, basically doing exactly what you're doing. You're sending out these notices to everybody.
Now, see, here's what's funny, brother. I've had attorneys try to say to people, oh, what David Jose does doesn't work. And, we can't understand why it would work, when the maxims of law tell you that if you want to receive due care, you must give due notice. So we do the declarations of rights and the bills of rights in every state to give notice to our government officials who we created their seats what they cannot do.
Right. I look at it like this. I believe these lawyers have a problem because, their job basically goes away.
Yep. When we learn the truth.
Right. So their whole livelihood is at stake.
See, this is so right what you're saying, because people don't realize that conflict of interest that you just dropped. Like, the attorneys need a lot of cases. If you don't have an issue in your marriage, an issue with your kids, an issue with the school, an issue with a court case, an issue with tickets, an issue with whatever, they don't make money.
That's right.
Period.
Right.
So they like controversy. They make money off of controversy. The more controversy, the merrier. And the funny thing they tell you, well, why don't you give that guy notice? Now, some of the people who have been dealing with me in recent history, they're calling my stuff. They're like, oh, David needs to show why his stuff works or if it has teeth. What happens if somebody don't listen to you? Can you call the sheriff and make them do something? Can you call the government and make them get somebody? I'm like, listen, my stuff tells the truth so well that they all realize they're in trouble and give me what the freak I want. Why do I want to force people? Just like you said when I met you, you're like, Dave, you and Tommy said the same thing. Like, Dave, we don't want to just destroy everybody. We would rather give them notice and make it right so they could do the right thing. I don't want to just get people for money or knock people out. Now, the attorney said, I ain't saying that if this dude didn't pursue you, he wouldn't tell your anus up. Like, you could have put him in a freaking arm bar right there, and his anus would have been trapped, right? Mm-hmm. So the thing is I purposely make sure that my affidavits and notices trap people in so well with their own law that they can't run away. And then I dare them to say something back. You've seen them. Don't I dare them to say something back within a certain amount of days?
Yeah.
Show me where I'm wrong. Swear to it. Show the constitutional authority if you bad. And out of thousands of notices we've done, not one person can respond and say you're wrong or this is unconstitutional ever. Correct. Ever. You know? And so that's the thing is that, so we get these people who say, David, who will enforce what you are saying in your notices? And the problem is the law says the people are supposed to regulate our government and the police. So the very fact that somebody has to ask the question, who's going to boss people around for you? I'm like, if you interfere with me and cross me, I will make your life very bad by God. And I'll show you in your face how I'm doing it and tell you what I'm going to do to you and tell you how I'm going to trap you. And you're not getting away. You're not running. And it is by the mercy of God that a lot of people don't go to prison for life, because I tell them, hey, you could have done me wrong. You could have took my kids. You could have did this and did that. I love you enough to say that God loves you. This is a chance for me to show you that God is merciful, because I could get you put in prison for the rest of your life and your friends. But if you return my kids, I promise you, I'll be nice. I'll drop it. Even today, after 3 years, you can send my kids back home. I'll drop everything. I'll make you guys deal with what you have to deal with. Like, you're going to fix everything for every family. You're going to pay the people back. You're going to be in trouble for breaking the law, but I'm not going to try to make you go to prison for the rest of your life if you do right. Now, if you don't want to do right, and I have to do this the hard way by teaching the people that you're a clown, then if you go to prison or you get the benefits of the crimes you've done, that's on you. Now, I love you enough to say, I would rather see you do us right, come to Christ and repent and be saved by God. But if you about that smoke and you want to fight me with everything you got, go ahead. I'm patient, right? They've set up so many crimes against the people, and most of the time people can't see what we do behind the scenes. So they can't see like my relationship with you. You know that I'm a funny guy, you know it. I don't trust very well, right? You know this. And it took a while for me and you to get close enough for me to know I could really trust you with everything. Mm-hmm. And we talked about tons of stuff. Before I had a trust for you and a love for you, where I knew like, okay, this dude is a fighter. He could do whatever, right? Before I knew that, we talked a little bit and I'm like testing you out. You testing me out, you know? Then I realized this dude wants to help everybody. Then you start bringing people from everywhere, helping them to learn the truth. And so I realized you're one of those guys that God brings into somebody's life that will kick butt himself, because you went out and did what you did and you didn't have everybody else in the world to do it with you. Then you started teaching other people, and a lot of people are getting remedy because of you. You see? And even right now, a lot of people are on here, they're learning and they're getting motivated because a real man came on video and told them what it's like in his life with real testimony. Now, people can say they're going to test what David Jose does and what Josh Barnett does all day and night. But the real remedy and truth is When a man comes on and shows, this is what I did, this is what I gave their attorneys, this is what I served them with, this is what I told them, and they knew not to mess with me and they were appreciative of what I did, it shows real life. I don't give out people Bobby's contact info. Y'all know I got trolls that are mad at me for knocking down the trafficking. So when I show people from CPS courts that got their kids back, they fake like they were the FBI, went after people and told them if they keep talking, they're going to attack them, hurt them, get their kids sent back to CPS. So I'm not giving out all this information, and it's not necessary. You know, we got a real man on video who did a PMA. He told you what state he's in. He told you the notices we did. He told you what he went through. That's more than any attorney in the country can show you on a consistent basis. I don't know of any attorney in the whole nation who has helped people to open up during the shutdown and been successful. I don't know it. So a lot of people say they want to test out stuff, but they are not doing the same thing. And I think that's a mess, because if you're not offering the people remedy and telling them what they can do, then I also think you should not be trying to attack what other people are doing that really works. But I'm not going to just say it really works. I'll let you speak to somebody real. So, Bobby, I want to ask you, so what does it feel like when you know that you've taught a lot of people, you've blessed a lot of kids? I'm sure you probably met some kids that didn't have a lot of, self-love, or they didn't have a lot of confidence, and you're building them up and you're teaching them martial arts. First of all, what does it feel like as a man who's doing this for all these kids to see it be taken from you? And then what does it feel like as a man who's doing this for all these kids and people to see you be able to open your life back up and start back doing what you were put here to do?
It's a different, honestly, just like a different level of confidence, to be quite honest. You know, I mean, I walk in everywhere. Okay, we're all kings and queens. That's what we were really designed to be, is have the power of the kings and queens just without subjects. And I now feel,
I'm going to bring Josh on. Keep talking.
I now feel like a king, you know, and I'm walking around like a king, and that closer to what a real free man should be feeling, right? You know, I with a fight, I can feel free, you know, I can be free and stuff like that, but I shouldn't have to fight with it at every time we turn around and stuff like that. But that's what we gotta collectively work towards, you know, to fix the government so it functions properly and stuff like that, the way it was meant to.
All right, Josh, real quick, we gonna welcome you on. Everybody, this is Josh Barnett. This is the man who actually opened the door for me to start talking to people around the country about PMAs. Josh Barnett ran for Congress, had a business that they shut down in Arizona. Josh Barnett and I got together and started talking. We were fighting some other things around the nation that we saw was wrong. Josh Barnett is the one who brought up the idea for us to go after all the gyms around the country and entities to open the doors for them to be able to function. So everybody meet Josh Barnett. Josh Barnett, say what's up.
Hey, what's up, everybody?
How are you?
I'm glad to have people on talking about remedy and talking about actual solutions instead of just the rah-rah speeches, which are fine. But we need more people to understand that there is a way out, that there is a way to fight back, and that there is a way to live your life and not be bothered by government all the time.
Yeah, Bobby was just telling us some of the things that happened with him and how it felt when they shut him down. Of course, he was in the midst of talking about that when they shut him down, and then what it feels like to be opened back up.
Yeah.
And so I want him to tell us, so what is it when you did open up the entity back up? And I'm going to mute out after I ask the question so I don't make too much noise. But what does it feel like when you open back up against the odds? And what does it feel like when you see the kids and the different people who get to come back in and realize that they don't have to keep suffering, but that they can enjoy the blessings that you and Josh opened up the door for them to be able to have?
It was like starting all over again, be honest, like when you first start teaching people and you start seeing the changes that you make in people and stuff, because that's really what teaching is all about, right? I don't really, it's about changing people and stuff. And that's why I started martial arts, was because I actually was picked on all through my childhood and stuff like that. And then, decided that had to change, and, and then needed to just have control over everything, so, and get everything back. So that's why I wanted to do martial arts. I didn't want to just fight, so I needed to know I wanted to be able to control everything, and then be able to help other kids not have to grow up the way I did, getting picked on and stuff, because I had to deal with still deal with, the mental part, right? That doesn't go away. That just, there's mental scars from it and stuff. But martial arts helped me change all that. And then this totally brought all that all back again, like in a whole new way, because I had parents coming back into my office and getting like tears in their eyes after being back in the school for a couple of weeks, because they're like, I just want to tell you that even just as the mom sitting in the lobby every week, to know that like when I come in here, I don't have to wear a mask. Nobody's going to say anything to me. Nobody's going to be in my face about it. Everybody here is just normal. It's normal life here. And she's like, it's my favorite time of the week is to come to class and just sit here and be normal for an hour, So, and that's all because of all of this, right? Because otherwise they'd be at my door all the time and stuff like that, busting my chops and stuff like they did everybody else in town, we live in, it's a liberal, the town my school is in is a liberal town. So they're more liberal, but they would have been busting my chops. Like I told you, the school down the road, they were busting their chops, and because they were sneaking people in and grappling and stuff like that and everything. And they fined him and stuff, but me, not a peep.
Let me ask you this. So being a martial artist, somebody who has the power, like you have the power and ability, because I know what you do, to literally break somebody's arm where it will not work anymore. You can break somebody's ankle or leg where it would not work anymore. You can snap somebody's neck, black somebody out in 4 seconds with a cross choke. There's all these different things that you have the skills to do, and I can't touch your skill with a 10-foot pole. I'm a bigger guy. I don't think you're as big as me, but I know if you wanted to damage anybody my size or bigger, you could at will. Now, I heard you say something earlier, and it made a lot of sense, because you used to fight, and you said you're not fighting now just to be able to hurt people. You want to have control. And that's a powerful thing you said, because there's a difference between being able to enforce, right, your ability to be safe, rather than, or to have a solution to bring forth safety and stop something, and force on people, because force unrestrained breaks stuff, right? So do you like it better to be able to write these people and have the government realize, wow, Bobby is correct, maybe he should be giving notice to the other people, right? Or would you rather 100%. Fight everybody all day and break people's limbs off?
No, 100%. I would rather 100% I would rather fix it and, take care of it, and not, and correct it. I don't even want to get these people in government. I'm not even looking to get the people in government fired. I mean, maybe the governor, because I think he said some things that shouldn't have been allowed to have been said and gotten away with. But, but they just need to be taught. These are people like everybody else. They got indoctrinated in the way of the government and stuff, and they just need to be shown the right way. They just don't know what they're doing. I tell people, I go, this is why whenever you deal with government, the right hand never knows what the left hand is doing. That you can go down the hallway and go into 2 different offices, and they're both going to tell you 2 completely different ways of handling something. I'm like, this is by design, because then nobody knows how they're messing with people.
Yes, sir.
They don't, and everybody's confused. So you just fumble your way through, and ultimately you did things their way. I don't know if you guys can hear those dogs. Sorry.
I can. Let me ask you this. So so you being a martial artist and somebody who has the ability to fight and do damage, right? Can you tell the people, if you're in the street fighting people all the time and destroying people, and everybody knows the martial art that you know, and they know they can't beat you, and you continue to have conflict after conflict after conflict, and you're always forcing your will on people. When you're always forcing your will on people, what ends up happening in the long run to the people who know they can't beat you? What do they do?
Well, they're the people who can't. They're just gonna. Well, they're either gonna try to like get together and again hurt me.
They're going to come together and try to use force against you, right? So if you're
Yeah.
the aggressor all the time and people find out that you're a bully and you're wrong and you're not protecting yourself by right, sooner or later they're going to come together to get the edge on you. Or what's the other thing they're going to do? We all know this. If you're a bad fighter, what are they going to do to you when they catch you slipping?
They're gonna shoot you.
They're going to use the great equalizer.
That's
Distance
right.
and speed, right?
That's right.
They're going to get something that got some hot smoke on it.
They're gonna shoot you.
They're not going to shoot you face to face right up because you might grab and take the gun. They're going to go from a distance, see you coming from somewhere, and plug you, right? Mm-hmm. This is what I want the people of America to realize. We wield a lot of power with the Constitution that says you can get treason charges for going against us. We wield a lot of power when we send affidavits that say you're committing maladministration or treason that could get people put in prison for life. And it's better to agree with your adversary before you have to have a situation that destroys their life. It's better to agree than to just punish people all the time with your strength. And what happens is the government officials and attorneys have been using the force of government so bad that they think the only way to have remedy is to get somebody to come with a gun and make somebody do something. But what they fail to realize is even the police, when the people start realizing the government is doing wrong, you will no longer be able to use a few police to make the people do anything. Look at France. Didn't we all see big riots in the street where the people in France went against the police and the police dropped their stuff and got alongside them? Now the government has no protection. The government has been using the police to beat people with sticks and all this. And then the people find out they're wrong. They tell the police. The police find out the government wrong. Now the police won't protect the government. That happened in multiple states, and they don't want to put it on the news. Now, in America, the people are learning what the real law is, and they're telling the government with notice, nicely. And they're telling the police. Now, think about this. When we sent out our notices, did we just give it to the government officials where it could be hid, or did we give it to the police and the sheriff and the attorney general?
All of them.
Yep.
So the police, sheriff, and attorney general watch us and know they are literally telling us every law we hid. Do you really want to be the aggressor all the time in government when everybody finds out you've been cheating? You definitely don't want that.
Well, keep in mind too, David, that the police or anybody can only fight back against the people for so long when you know you're wrong. When you're wrong about something, you're only going to fight so hard, right? Because you're like, I'm wrong. In the back of your mind, you're like, I'm wrong. I can only go so hard. When you're righteous and you know what you're doing is right, and you'll fight to the death. So there's a difference, right? So I think the police might fight back initially. When they know they're wrong, they're gonna be, guys, we're not writing this. This is not right. We're out of here because it's not right, and they know it's not right, and they know it's unconstitutional, and they know it's unlawful. So they're only gonna put a front up. They're like, hey, we're here to do whatever. But like when you know you're wrong, you're not gonna go as hard, and that's exactly what I see in France and other areas of the country with this. That when they learn that what they're doing is unconstitutional, they're like, you know what, you're right, man. Sorry to bother you. Have a good day.
Yep. Because most of the police, this is what people don't understand.
They don't know.
Most of the police don't know. And the police came into the force thinking that they were going to protect people. And they learned about this since they were kids on movies, just like us. And they're like, yeah, I'm going to give my life to serve the country. And then I'm going to be a police officer and I'm going to save people. And I'm going to save the pregnant woman like Superman. And I'm going to come in with my cape. I ain't got no cape. But I'm going to come in with my heat. And I'm going to be like, freeze, pow, pow, right? This is how you learn from a kid. You're programmed to believe the police are coming here with honest intentions. So most people who became police officers get in the mix of stuff and they start working with a couple of people who are crooked. And they're like, man, okay, I seen him do that. But, this is what they say we have to do. I'm doing my job. But then when they started getting notices from the people who are letting them know, that's actually not part of your job, homie. And that ain't written in your law either. Then they started doing what Bobby just said before you came here, Josh. Bobby said his chief of police said, we ain't gonna be going after this guy. Do not ever go there again.
Yeah.
And if the district attorney want to get him, let him go himself.
It sounds like Tommy.
Yep, same exact words.
Same thing.
Keep your anus out his area, right? So people talk about all this remedy and enforcement, don't even know what the words mean. Remedy is, the legal remedy is putting out the law in order to get a solution. Both of you guys are witnesses that we put out law clearly. Come on now. How many people would have the freaking heart to say, let's go ahead and give the freaking law to the government officials and share it with all of them at once and tell them we gonna open up? How many people have that heart in real life? So our approach goes exactly the opposite of what everybody else did. Let's just stay open and say, stick it to the man. Let's just stay open and say, we're not open, and paint the windows green and freaking hide and put everybody in through an underground bunker.
If you fight the power, if you fight the government, they're going to fight back and they're going to win. You know, you got to fight back smart. You got to fight back legally and constitutionally. And that's what we did. And, you know, and it was a leap of faith. I'll be honest, Dave knows, when I first did this out here, like I was waiting for the cops to show up. You know, like I got cameras every day. I'm looking right here, you know, and I'm seeing. So cops did show up. And I tell David this all the time. They did show up. I was like, oh, here we go. And I opened the door. I was like, can I help you? And they're like, yeah, can we come in and check it out? I said, well, this is a private association. But you know, if you're willing to sign this, you're more than welcome to come in and check it out. No, we're here to sign up. Because they did the research. The one guy told me, and I have a lot of cops here, you know, they did the research. I got the good cops, I say, you know, I got the good ones, the ones that understand the Constitution, because I make sure they know. And usually they do the research before they even come in. They know what I'm doing. They know what I'm doing is fair, legal, and lawful. And they understand the difference between the public and the private. And they've done the research based on the videos we've been putting out and the information we've been putting out, that they understand that what we're doing is very fair and square, you know, and it's, you know, that's how we fight back. And that's why I get frustrated when I go to these events now, because David's taught me too much, that I get frustrated because I'm at a great event last night. It was 1,200 people, no mask. It was great. Nigel Farage there, you know, like the leader of Brexit in England, you know what I mean? And it was Carrie Lake spoke and did an amazing job. You know, it was good, you know, but I kept hearing this fight, you know, keep fighting, email and call your legislators. And I was like, ugh, you know, because yes, that's fine, but it's not a remedy. It's not a solution. So what's funny, David, I told you, I had a bunch of ladies and guys come up to me. Like, I don't really know who they are. Well, I know some of them, but some people came up to me I don't know yet. And they're like, Josh, I love you. I love David. I love you guys. And they're like, why aren't they talking about giving notices and affidavits? Because what they're saying is not going to do anything. They're not going to read the emails. They're not going to take your phone calls. And if they do, they're going to be like, I don't remember that phone call. I don't remember that conversation. Why aren't they listening? And I'm like, because they don't know yet. You know, we haven't taught enough people yet. So, but it was great because people are listening and they're digesting it and understanding that until you put it on paper, it doesn't mean anything. Yeah. You know, and I'm glad people are finally paying attention to that. We just got to keep reaching out to more and more people and let them know. That's why these shows are so important. And hearing Bobby's testimony is so important.
Amen. Because Bobby is a real man that has taken part in doing these things just like you, Josh. And he's a real teacher of many things. He deals with the law. And what's deep is that he is someone who fought in one of those states where the governor was a monster to people. And everybody thought, oh, no, it could work in Arizona because y'all in the Wild Wild West. Mm-hmm. But can it work in the East? Right. Yeah. He's doing it in the East. So, you know, people can we did it in California, too. Like, I don't know, maybe 20 entities in California. Right. Yeah. California did it. They tried to even take one to court. And we put an affidavit in on the district attorney and let him know we're coming for you. And for some reason, the case just got dropped. And then in another case, the case just got dismissed. Nobody comes to the gym and messes with them, though.
They threatened them all the way up. You know, they threatened them all the way up to try to scare them into giving up, basically.
And we're like, no.
And when he didn't give in, they went to court. They're like, what happened to the case? It's gone.
Yeah, we just dropped it. You don't have to be here today. Exactly what I told them was going to happen. Oh, they're going to play a game for a little while. They'll drag it on to try to act like they have power. They don't want people to know that you're saying screw you and it works. So what they're going to do is they're going to wait for a little while and then they're going to kill the case, like, because they don't want to do any. When you give them notice that they're committing treason and these different things by forcing you to do something in the private when you have a right to not do it, they know they have no jurisdiction. If they make a judgment without jurisdiction, it's treason because you're attacking the people that you swore to protect. So they don't want to do that. So what they do is just say, oh, there was a issue with something. Oh, kill the case. Oh, we just happened to find out that you gave notice and somebody didn't give something back right and we didn't serve you right. Oh, kill the case. They don't want to say you smashed us in the freaking corner, rubbed our nose in some poop that we did, and now our anus is done and you beat us because of your affidavit or notice. That would be stupid. So for people to say, prove to us your affidavit is working. 88 kids are home. 100 something gems that Josh Barnett and I put together. And now Bobby too. Bobby brought some people to the table too. They're all open. So while you're telling us to prove ourselves, we just want to know, what are you proving and who are you helping to be the judge? Why do you get to determine what works and what does not when we got real life people every day? Look, we could go do a show for half a year to a whole year and have somebody different every day who's used what we taught to be free. Yeah. We can literally do a show a day all year and have people who have benefited from this while people are trying to tell us they need to be the judge if it works or not.
Well, people got to remember the government's never going to admit why, because they don't want people to know why. So, and it's much like I told you, I had a legislator tell me, tell them to stop sending us notices. They're almost like they annoyed him, right? And I started laughing. I go, you understand why we send those notices, right? If you do your job, we wouldn't have to keep sending them.
Wouldn't have to teach you.
And I told him I didn't mean you specifically. I'm talking about in general, y'all. I'm talking about everybody. So you have too many people that are infringing on the rights of the people, and we're not having it anymore. I told them those days are over. I've been saying it for 6 months. Those days of running over people are done. We're not going to put up with it any longer.
Yep. We ain't playing. And that's the thing, guys, is that when the Bible tells you that God created man and he let the rain and the sun come down on the just and the unjust, God has not made any one of us lesser than another, right? And that's where we got in our common law and in our bills and declaration of rights that all men are equal. Now, if all men are equal, where did one man get the right to tell another man, you better not do this or you better not do that when it comes to your life and liberty that God said have dominion over? So when the people try to play these games, they would love for you to say, look, I don't understand. So I'm just going to leave it alone. I'm not a lawyer. I'm not a judge. I'm not a government official. So go ahead and tell me what to do. They would love that. When you say, didn't you swear in the Constitution to this? And didn't you swear to that? And didn't you swear to that? And didn't we pay you for that? So why the freak are you going against that? Totally different conversation. Now they realize, holy crap, who told them there was a state constitution? Wait, how come nobody told us it was a state constitution? I signed that I agree to follow it. Nobody ever told me what the freak it said. So
they're
then
like, well, somebody scrubbed that off the internet quick.
Hey, that's like Arizona Constitution right now. You could go on Arizona government website and look at Article 3, and it doesn't tell what Article 3 says on Ballotpedia. They erased some of it. They never put it in the law books. It was upgraded in 1992, and it tells the difference between people and persons. I wonder why that never made its way onto the government website.
Just coincidence. They forgot.
All these coincidences all the time.
It slipped their mind.
It must have been a black person that was using the internet, like Joey Biden says. He couldn't figure out how to get it to put it back up, right?
You need darker pigment.
Negroes cannot use the internet, so hire a Negro so they don't put it up online, and we never know the law, right? You wonder, like, man, they got a bar attorney full of black people. Is this NAACP? What the freak is going on? We don't want to use the internet.
I was laughing Saturday. Walt Blackman was speaking, right? And he's like, I'm Representative Walt Blackman. Yes, I'm black. Walt was like, I do have an ID. I know how to get an ID. And he's like, and I know how to use the internet, if you can believe it. Walt's great, man. Walt's funny.
There you go.
Walt's he's a good sport, but when it's joking aside, that's literally what this side thinks. That side thinks that way. They literally are condescendingly talking down to the black community to the point where it's like, to me, I laugh at it like, you got to be kidding me right now. But they're really pushing this nonsense, and then the black community in general is voting for it.
Yeah, letting them have. But you know what it is?
Wake up.
Here's what it is, bro. They come to our communities and they're like, look, when I was growing up, this is what they'll do. You want to get some business loans? You want to be able to have more stuff for yourself? You want 40 acres and a mule? You want a camel? Right? And I'm like this is what I used to say. I'm like, what about y'all just leave us the freak alone and let me provide for myself? I'll give a freak about having your free stuff. Screw your free stuff. What about that? Right? And this is the thing. They want to interfere with everything and then tell you we'll give you something every couple of years to make you think they're trying to do good for you when they're stealing from you.
Just controlling you.
Yeah. So I don't fit in, bro. They're like, well, Dave, don't you hate what the white man did to you? And I'm like, I'm not being funny, but I played football all over the world. I mean, over the nation, basketball. No white man held me down. Never happened. Right? I've been in the ghetto, right? Doing my lawnmower business. I start when I was a little boy. I would go cut grass and make money and buy everybody stuff out the ice cream truck. No white man came and said you can't do business. The frick are they talking about? I was freaking cash rich as a little boy. I was getting dough, right? I was buying my own shoes, buying my brothers and sisters school clothes, getting brothers and sisters stuff off the ice cream truck. I was making dough, right? Now, as a little boy making money from a lawn business, I was able to produce something that other kids couldn't because God let me have it in my mind to do something different. And even today, people say, well, Dave, we're oppressed. I'm like, dude, listen. I'm like, I can go out and do real estate right now and make as much money as I want. I can go out and do other business and make stupid money. How am I oppressed? Like, really? And then we got rappers who used to be drug dealers who are now millionaires because they took their drug money, flipped it into a business, and now they're all on videos saying whatever they want to say, and they say, well, we're oppressed. I'm like, dude, you were a drug dealer and got an opportunity. The frick you talking about? What are you talking about? Right? So I know that there's some times where cops do us funny in our cities, and that's true. It happens. Cops do a lot of people wrong at different times when they don't know the law. But a lot of times we shooting each other too. So it's like, bro, I can go to the suburbs and I'm not worried about somebody jacking me on my drop top. When I'm in Detroit in the middle of the hood and I'm driving around, I'm looking over my shoulder because I know people want to jack me every day. I'm a realist. I don't deal with theory. I know you'll get your brains blown out on any street corner, right? So I just like to keep it real. Now, if I go to Scottsdale, I don't imagine that somebody's going to just blow my brains out, right? So we just got to be real about what's real. I don't like this theory. I don't like this critical race theory. I don't like this freaking all this bull crap. Let's just let people be free, teach them the law, and let people do what they want to do in their business, right? Let people do what they want to do in their business. Let them be in the private. Let them function and grow. That's all I say.
It's amazing. It's amazing how well this country runs when you lower taxes, get rid of regulations, and let the people live free.
Yep.
We figure it out. You figure it out. When our backs against the wall sometimes, like it forces people to learn, and it forces knowledge onto the people in general. So when that happens, it's game over for them. They actually screwed up. Now there's going to be so many thousands of people learning about the Constitution and about their laws and rights that it's actually gonna backfire on them with what's coming up here this next 6 months.
Well, you look at it like two guys like Bobby and Tommy, right? They're in Jersey and they're actually teaching other people to be free. People are connecting to them. So this is what I believe in when I say about giving the word to faithful men. In the Bible, God tells those who will teach the gospel to teach faithful men because the faithful man going to multiply whatever you give them. So now if you look at you two have gotten information and understanding. Bobby had a lot of law information before I even met him. He's fought and won some stuff, big time stuff before me. Now, what you got to understand is God let me learn some things to connect a couple of dots. And then Bobby came out and started teaching other people and helping other people to grow and bringing other people to the table to help them to be in the private. Josh, you did over 100 and something businesses across the country. You got to realize, with only a few of y'all have affected thousands of lives. Every entity y'all bring forward into the private, you affect their lives. All of the people who were working with them, you bless their lives. All the kids who you guys help and adults to keep their life going and not be depressed and kill themselves, you're helping their lives. So a lot of people are being affected really quickly, and people don't understand. Like, when I sit here and I see y'all, I realize, like, ooh, the people of the world don't understand that you got a couple of bad mama jammas, they'll flip a state this fast. I like a heartbeat. And people watching, they see certain things happening and they can't see what we've done behind the scenes. They can't see that we're sending notices out to these people. Nobody ever knows, right? They can't see the cops coming to y'all saying, yeah, they said they ain't fooling around and messing around with y'all no more. They can't see it. All they could do is talk junk and say, we don't know if this worked. We can't say if this is doing what people are saying is doing. So people don't want to allow the truth to stand as what it is. They need to contest it because many people they believe in the system that's oppressing them so much that they want everybody else to be oppressed by it, and they don't want anybody to come with the answer.
That's why I told you I'm done debating with these people. I'm done trying to, we continue teaching, right, what it is. But if they're not on board or they don't want to be on board, that's fine. Just go somewhere else.
Yeah,
because there's thousands of other people that want the help that we're going to help, so, and that Bobby can help in Jersey and everywhere else, the people that he knows, because we don't need to be wasting our time on people who are trying to challenge us. We could go literally, and we're going to go on every day, all day long if we have to, and we're going to show remedy. We're going to show people that have done it. We're going to show the result. We're going to show you the end result of what happens.
Where y'all can hear them talk. Y'all can see real people with real cool grown man beards, and they're talking.
There's no point in us debating or arguing with these people. I really don't care what you think. I mean, I don't care if you're how high up, you went to Yale University. How many businesses did you save? You might have been on Fox News talking, but how many businesses did you save? What have you done? What have you actually done to help the people, right? So they probably have the knowledge to do it, but they didn't do anything. So my point is we're just going to keep showing people like Bobby, Tommy, John Franco, all these other hundreds of other people that we helped get open, and Bobby's people in Jersey, and we're going to show you, and you're going to hear their story, and you're going to see that it works. I don't have to talk you into it. You can either believe it or you don't. I'm not going to waste my time outside of that. So, and I think we keep that focus and keep going. That's what's going to show the people across the country that, wow, there's an option here. There's an option here, and it works, and it's legal, it's lawful, and it's constitutional, and I'm going to do it.
Now, I'm going to say this real quick, guys. Bobby's phone is dying. And he does have work to do, guys. So if that's Bobby that you hear clicking, please understand that Bobby took his time to come out and show you guys real life. And one lady made a smart remark like, oh, I hear clicking, I'm out of here. Well, listen, if your life is so great that you're trying to find out how to save the nation and a little bit of click makes you so upset that you got to leave, please leave and never come back again.
Take that petty stuff somewhere else.
Yeah, I'm going to tell you what, we don't live off of petty, and Bobby takes care of kids and people in his state and is a blessing to people. So if he has work that he has to do, but he's so good as to come on and grace us with his appearance and tell us exactly what he did, then I would rather not have the person who won't take action, who's mad over some clicks on here, than not have Bobby on here. And that's how I am. I'm a man of action and real life stuff. If you can't get over your little silly issues about somebody's sound not being perfect, somebody's screen not being perfect, some clicks in the background when somebody is trying to help us, then please, by all means, turn the dang show off and go to the next show that's going to talk about what's going on and fun and games and never tell you what to do. So I'm not mad at you if that's what you want to do, but I'm not going to stand up and say nobody can have clicks in the background. That's freaking ignorant. So anyway, Bobby, I do want to thank you for coming on. You're welcome to come on the show at any time. If anything new happens that you want to tell us about, I'm willing to get you on. Also, you are working to bless and help so many other people. So if it's anything that Josh and I can do to help with what you're doing, let us know. You have gained my love and respect and trust. And I know that you are out here to help the people. I know that you're a real professor. I know that you're a real teacher. I know that you're a real scholar because you research what you do and you go at it full speed and you apply it in real life, not just theories. So I do want to thank you for coming on and for being a hero for the people and taking time out for us little small fries, to tell what the truth is. You are the bomb and you are the best.
Well, I really appreciate it. Yeah, I mean, I got to thank you guys. I mean, like I said, I don't think I would still have, a school right now running if it wasn't for you guys, to be quite honest, following these ridiculous stuff. So, I have to thank you guys. A lot of these kids are still getting helped because of the knowledge you guys were able to, bring together for me. So, so what we got to do is, right, united we stand, right? So
Right.
Yes,
that's what
sir.
it's all about. But I appreciate it, gentlemen, and I will leave you guys now. Have a great rest of your day. Thanks for listening, everybody.
Thank you, Bobby, man. God bless you, man.
Thanks. You too.
All right, guys. So we're going to let Josh Barnett drop some more fire about what he wants to discuss. As you guys see, Josh Barnett is always about action and doing the actual things that work. Josh has already told me, David, don't keep doing things where you deal with people who, are trying to test what you've already done, and everybody can see who believes in the law and what's right. So, Josh, please go ahead and let us know anything you want to tell us. I didn't mean to interrupt, bro.
No, you're fine. You're fine, man. We just gotta, like I said, I think now, and trust me, I get, me, I'll fight back like as much as anybody, and I believe in. I don't believe in letting people just trample and say whatever they want, but I also believe that we're at a point now where we've got to a point where we don't have to waste a second of time or energy on people like that. So that's why I'm like, my whole focus was, and I woke up today, is like, we're just going to show the truth. We're going to show what works. You either believe it or you don't. I'm not going to try to waste my time talking you into it. And that's how it's going to be. It's kind of like if I run a 439 electronic 40 and you don't believe me, I don't care what you believe. I got the video right here with the time. I got proof of it. I don't care what you believe.
You say you ran and buy people like Randy Moss.
Yeah. So you know what I mean. So I don't care. I don't have to prove anything to you. If you're like, oh, I don't believe this, I don't care. Do what you want. Good luck. I hope you see the light come back around. We'll help you. If you want the help, we'll help you. But I'm not going to talk you into it. All you got to do is follow directions. It's very easy. Just follow these steps and do it properly. Don't think you know what you're doing, because you don't. Otherwise, you would have done it yourself already. So follow the steps that David's outlining to you and do it exactly as he says. And don't skip steps and then come tell me it doesn't work. That's like people come in here and they're like, oh, I go, here's what you're going to eat. Here's how you're going to train. Here's what you're going to do. And they're like, oh, well, Josh's diet isn't working. Yeah, fool, because I saw you eating McDonald's on Saturday night on YouTube, or on social media. I caught you, So don't tell me it don't work if you don't follow it. That's my point. It'll work, and it works for over 100-some people right now. I know it works. All you got to do is follow the steps. And if you do it properly and you do it right, you're doing something that's perfectly legal and constitutional, and it's going to work. You're going to be successful with it. And just because you think the government ain't locking you down now, don't think it's not going to come back, right? Don't think it's not going to happen. So prepare yourself. Just move it to the private now. Then you don't have to ever worry about it again.
Yep.
And just make yourself safe. Make your family safe and make yourself secure financially by doing so. And you're helping everybody else on top of it.
Somebody said, Chipster Samuel, does this have anything to do with Professor Clements? Let me just say this. Everything that happened between me and Professor Clements is done. I do feel like I have to teach my people the truth, though. So this ain't about Professor Clements, it's about the people. Professor Clements is not the one who came out even at first to say, let's challenge what David is doing. There's other people who said that. But I realize this. I don't have to wait on anybody to test what I do. I got thousands of people with me and Josh Barnett who have benefited off what we do. So all
we
I
got testimony all day long, and that's what we're going to use.
I can
Professor Clements can believe what he wants, and that's fine. A lot of stuff he says, we believe. Like I said, 99% of stuff we agree on. I mean, literally. So he has a different way, a different method. That's fine. That's perfect. If he has different methods to open businesses and keep them open during a pandemic, then good. I'll support that if that's what he has. Yep. We have our way of doing things. This is our way of doing things. So whatever the professor does, I'll support that. If he has ways and he's opened hundreds of businesses, then I'll support that. This is just our way of doing it, right? Yep. So I don't have to try to talk you into it. If you want to listen to him and get advice from him, that's fine. I support that. Yep. But last time I checked, I don't think he's opened 100 businesses into the private and kept them open during the pandemic. I'm not saying he can't. I'm just saying I didn't see that actionable, that action coming from him. Now, that could, and he very well may know about it, and he has his way. I'm just saying there's more than one way to skin a cat.
Nobody knows what anybody else is doing. I don't give a freak about what everybody else does. Exactly. I'm here to do the work that God gave me. Mm-hmm. There has been several people who say we need to test what Dave does, what Josh, you do the same thing. You open the door for everybody to come. So here's what I do. I say, listen, I'm not going to wait to do a show once a week to maybe talk about what we do. I'm going to bring people on my channel where we can talk as much as we want to and let y'all see real people all day and night. And I'm going to dare anybody to say this ain't happening in America.
People that we didn't even know. Some of these people, we don't even know who they are. Like literally, like I reached out to people that I know, but there's people that just saw stuff and said, hey, I need help. I didn't know who they were. I didn't ask them if they're Democrat or Republican. I didn't ask them if they're black or white or brown or whatever. I don't care. It does not matter. You're an American that needs help. We're going to help you, period. Yeah, and that's what I say with like people like Professor Clements, who's going out and trying to teach people the law and stuff and going on Fox and stuff. We need that. We need somebody to go out and do that. That's great. But we're not bad mouthing him. We're just saying this is our way of doing things, and I'm not going to sit there and waste time trying to prove it to you. We're just going to show you.
Yeah,
we're just going to show it to you. I don't have to prove it. We're going to show you what happened.
Real, recognize real. See, in the Bible, God says a couple of things. One of the things that God says is that let another man's mouth praise thee and not your own. In my businesses where I've shown all these people how to make money and people can see multimillionaires who's functioning all around the country, people knew, oh, when you mentioned Dave, we made millions of dollars with Dave or through what Dave taught. Jess, who's on here right now, can tell you about people she know who are millionaires because I decided to open up a network and sell them all the product we have, and they made millions, multiple people. We also got somebody who's right here on YouTube who did $250,000 a month right out of Arizona, right? And she knows this guy. He started out with me in 2016. He was trying to build some business. He went from trying to get things back together, reinventing himself. I said, you're going to be one of the best coaches and business people in the nation, if not the world. I promise you. 2016, he was there. 2018, he had a Rolls Royce and was making tons of money. So when people tried to attack me over this trafficking thing, they wanted to get me because I was killing their business. So they went after all my business contacts. My business contacts like, I don't know what you're saying about David, but we see his kids with him every day in shows and videos where they're right behind him, playing with him, talking to the camera. Nothing's wrong with those kids. They love their daddy. But Dave helped us make millions of dollars. So we ain't trying to hear what you got to say. Now, this is what always happens. When you deal with the world, you shouldn't have conversation without documentation. So when somebody comes at me and say, Dave, we don't know if we could believe, I'm like, don't believe me. I'm a nothing. I'm going to smack you with so many people who going to tell you what we do. You can't deny it. So God says, let somebody else's mouth praise you, not your own. I say I'm nothing. I say I'm nobody. Right? I say, hey, Josh, and Josh says too, I'm just a little old gym owner. Right? But nobody can deny what we're doing across the nation. Nobody can deny that affidavit Daniel Wood showed y'all today, though, can they? Nobody can deny the affidavit that Josh turned in. And it's funny that in the two places, Josh won in one county. We got it exactly how he wanted it. Daniel Wood did several counties. And Bahizzi, who reports the news, came out and told y'all today that several counties are going to have have audits done after they finish this one. So Bahizzi reported it. So y'all know what's out there. He usually researches stuff. So But Hizzy told that that audits are coming, but Hizzy didn't know that the affidavit is the same one that Josh had. And that lets you know everybody can report news. They don't know exactly what's happening behind the scenes. So if we don't tell what we did, nobody would know. So we sit there and we're quiet, changing stuff around the nation. We don't tell y'all. We just like, oh yeah, yay, audit, yay, this is happening, that's happening, yay. And then people are like, wait, I don't think you could have had nothing to do with it. And we're sitting there like this, trying to hold you to laugh. Wait till you find out. Right? So this is where we have fun, because that's right. Celestial Wayne. It is what it is. We can show exactly what we have done. We can show success. We can show real people who come on and tell y'all what we do. Now, guys, we ain't done yet. We got some CPS fighting parents that's gonna come on and tell y'all what happened when we gave notice.
Oh wait, you got kids back? I think that's fake.
I don't know if it could be possible, even though you got little kids jumping up in the background off the chandelier like an orangutan. I don't think it's possible that it could be real, because if Dave Jose or anybody else had anything to do with it, it's not real because we didn't see it and we don't believe in it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, man. We just keep showing them. They can make up their own mind. I'm not going to talk you into or out of it. You can either choose to believe with your own eyes and ears and see what other people are saying, not us, but other people, and then you can decide from there.
Yeah,
that's how I look at it from now on. I'm not trying to waste an ounce of energy on anybody.
Yeah, I'm done with the bull. I'm no longer going on anybody's shows to prove anybody a dang thing. I'll do it on my own channel, and I'll let y'all see the truth, and y'all can
maybe every so often we will.
Maybe
because some people
to be challenged by people. I'm like,
if somebody's
well, yeah, I do that.
Yeah.
But if somebody want to be the judge, right? If somebody want to be the judge, excuse me, y'all, I got to take some medicine. If somebody wants to judge, then I'm gonna ask you to be a righteous judge, and that you be doing the same thing in your own way that you're trying to judge me over. If you are not fighting to do the same thing and you won't put your life on the line the same way, I don't even feel like I need to keep wasting my time trying to prove to people what the truth is, right? I don't have the time for that. Our life is too short, and the people who I am trying to lead, and Josh Barnett is trying to lead, their life is too important for us to be holding out, teaching them how to take action today to try to prove to other people what we're doing, and it's taken forever. It's ridiculous. Stop helping others make money and fame off you, then bail on you. No, Dave cares for you. I feel the same. Yeah, and that's the funny thing. Like, a lot of people are literally out there teaching what I taught them as if it's their own, and then try to attack me like they didn't learn it from me or whatever. And I'm like, dude, I don't care if you tell everybody whatever. I don't even care if you give me credit. I don't give a freak. But why use what I'm using and attack me over it? Like, that junk is weak, you know? So I'm just going to show truth to you guys, and I'm going to show you guys how to take actions if you want to learn it. Me and Josh have been here teaching y'all. Me and Josh have sat here and took questions and showed people how to do stuff. So we ain't got time to play around. And Ghost, I would say, you said, why aren't these people in jail in Arizona? One of the biggest reasons is most people don't know that the law is being broken. So if I ask you, if I say, Ghost, what laws did they break in the Arizona of the Board of Supervisors of Maricopa County? The first thing you got to do is tell me what laws they broke. Then you got to tell me, are they statutory or constitutional? Then you got to tell me why it has affected us. If you can't do that, then what happens is we're just complaining about somebody doing something wrong and you really don't know. Yeah, so exactly. You can't just be sending people to jail not knowing what the freak is being done wrong. And that's the problem. The police don't know that they're breaking the law because an attorney is leading them. The attorneys don't know that they're breaking the law in some cases because the attorneys have been trained by higher level attorneys who want to do deep state activities. They want to steal your stuff. So they've been trained wrong. It's not until they run into one of us that's not afraid of them that they start asking questions and saying stuff in front of people, and they realize, like, holy crap, we didn't know that was in the law, right? They start finding out. See, it's a bad thing when you got to find out in public that what you've been taught is a lie. And so we got to realize that we need to love the attorneys and the government officials enough to show them what's wrong so they can have a chance to stop. That's why this week we're going after them. We should have the notice done by today. We got to realize that we cannot leave people with the false knowledge that they're doing right. We have to teach them first. And before we can teach them, we have to know. And before we know, we have to study. The Bible says that God's disciples shall know the truth, and the truth shall make them free. If you don't know the truth, you'll never figure out how to correct people. So this is where most people struggle. They cannot fight. They cannot fight when you ask them something publicly and they realize, holy crap, I see where this is going, and this person knows more than me, right? And that's how we have to stand in diligence. The Bible tells you to study to show yourself approved. That deals with the word. So we need to study to show ourselves approved when it comes to the law. And once we do that, nobody with any amount of sophisticated knowledge can beat you in a discussion, period. You will flip them over upside down, hardly even trying, every single time. And this is why I say, and you can see it with Josh, you can see it with Bobby. When Josh and Bobby start talking, knowledge comes out of them. I mean, straight up knowledge. They don't have to say anything stupid. They don't have to call you a name. They will blow your back out with the law and be smirking at you, laughing in the process as they watch you destroy yourself. So we're all regular people, guys. We are not lawyers. We didn't pay hundreds of thousands of dollars to go to school. And for some reason, we keep winning. So I encourage people, hate on it as much as you like. Say what you want to say. Then tell the people who come on these lives, they're not telling the truth about all the stuff that's happening for them.
All I care about is results at the end of the day. And however we get there is how we get there. It's kind of like in football. You can be all fancy and do the, basketball turf, the old Rams, just, flying the ball. Or you can do ground and pound, you know what I mean? And grit your way down the field, but the end result is a touchdown. It does not matter. And that's all I care about is that touchdown being scored. And I prefer the basketball turf because I'm a wide receiver. So, but my point is all that matters is the end result. And people, like I said, they can say what they want. They can say it had nothing to do with any affidavits y'all did. It does not matter. You know what? I don't care. We got a forensic audit. I don't care. Let's see what happens in Georgia. As I keep saying it, let's see what happens in Chatham County and Fulton County. Let's see if they end up having.
Whoa, your name is specific. Your name is specific counties now.
Yeah, I gotta let them know. Let's see if Candace Taylor.
If you
a full audit.
Oh shucks, you naming a specific name now? Man, it's almost like, are you going back to Josh Adamas again?
Hey, let's check this. It's not Vernon Jones. It's Candace Taylor. Candace Taylor did it the constitutional legal way. Vernon just went out and talked about it. Now, I appreciate that, and I appreciate him jumping on the Candace Taylor train. That's fine. I appreciate, because the end result for him should be, I want a forensic audit, right? That should be the end result. But don't take credit where credit's not due. You should give credit where it's due. And if Vernon understands what's going on, and he will eventually, he should give Candace credit for a full forensic audit that's going to happen in Chatham and Fulton County. So let's see what happens. Let's see what happens in Antrim and throughout Michigan with Bill Bailey and Matt DePerno. Y'all think that story's dead. It's not. It's just getting started. So let's see what happens in those two counties in Georgia and the state of Michigan. Let's see what happens. And then we'll go from there.
There you go. All right. Well, with that said, we're going to get ready to rock and roll. We might get on another show later on, maybe.
I'm down. Who we getting? I
don't know yet. Like, a couple of people responded. Tommy said he might want to come. Somebody else who was in the CPS world fighting said that they want to
fantastic.
come.
Yeah.
So man, we just smacking people with watermelons these days. Like,
Hey, you know,
whatever
we should get you talk about CPS, or like get Anna on with you.
Which one?
Anna.
Oh, well, I got to see. I'm not that connected. I didn't meet her,
Get her
except for you, because the other day you let me come on. So
yeah, I'll get her. I can get her. I'll hit her up.
well, she asked me the other day too, when you invited me so graciously to come out and meet. You said, no, she said, Dave, I want to get you on my show. I got ridiculous amount of followers and they need to hear this. I was like, whoa, wow. Another Josh connection, that somebody who really understands law hears you for a second. And then they say, darn, maybe we should get you on our show because you know the law and this is real. And wow.
It'd probably be better for you to go on her show because she has a stupid following. You know what I mean? And it's always good to branch out outside of our own platform.
Immediate circle, yeah. Mm-hmm. And see, I'll invite everybody here on if I go on her show and let everybody see.
Of course.
And then we can see what happens. We can see, like, in her world, if things are affected when we implement real things that deal with the law. Is fire gonna be lit up or no?
Yeah, exactly.
I'll
hit her up right now.
Let me know. Y'all see how Josh does? Josh is one of them right now, dudes. It's like, hey, Josh, should I put something together in 2 weeks? He's like, what? He's like, no, do it now. He won't even get off the show. He's like, I'm about to text her right now.
I'm literally.
Let's go get some of that smoke, right? Yeah. I ain't gonna tell you.
We're at a point in this country that we ain't got time to waste. I feel, you let an hour go by, a day go by, that's a wasted day that they can trample our rights, and I'm done with it.
There you go.
I'm absolutely done with it, and people are like, you're obsessed. Well, I don't know anybody who's been successful that's not obsessed with what they're doing.
And that's the thing.
So you know, it is what it is.
If you many of the motivational speakers in the nation, the guy from Michigan, Eric Thomas, and Les Brown says, you gotta be hungry, right? My dad hooked me up with a video from Les Brown. Les Brown used to be married to Gladys Knight. That dude dropped some fire with motivational speaking. Another filthy rich dude from the East Coast hooked me up with Tony Robbins. He actually helped Tony Robbins in his younger years, and he started showing me about how massive action is the difference. You know, specialized massive action is what makes a change for most of the people who succeed in this life. They can imagine something, they're hungry, and they go after it with everything that they have. If you look at, who was the other one that said you got to obsess over stuff? I think it was what's the football player? Ray Lewis.
Yeah, Ray Lewis.
Yeah, he said those of us who are the best have to be relentless and obsessive over this stuff. I'm obsessive over winning. And if you look at kids who have like ADHD, right? And you look at how they're able to focus on a task, they'll play a video game and memorize how to destroy the video game, every turn, every movement. And it's because they obsess over it almost. The gift they have that people call a curse, many times they can focus on something so hard that you could try to pull them away from it. They don't want to move because they're tuned into what they see. And their ability to sense things is much greater than ours because they're focused on whatever they obsess with. And so what happens is we look at them do things and people like, how in the world did you There was one kid that I think he had ADHD, right? He went up in a helicopter, flew over the city, right? Then he came down and painted the whole city by memory. Painted the whole city, every building, everything by memory, flying by it with a helicopter. Mm-hmm. And so people who want to really win, people who really want to take things to the next level must understand that they have to be willing to obsess over things. They got to be willing to focus and go after it. And the way God says is everything you do, do it with all your might. That's what we got to do. But hey, I'm going to go ahead and get ready to get off because there should be more people who want to come on today. So we're going to show y'all real remedy. We're going to show y'all real people who are kicking butt around the nation, people who got hit with stuff with COVID, and they came out greater than what they was before COVID. Real life people, no theory, no happenstance, them talking, telling you what happened after Josh and I came into their life. So if y'all want the smoke, we'll give all the freaking smoke. If y'all want that fire, we'll freaking give all the freaking fire. We'll give the freaking forest fire. But don't let people just tell you foolish stuff and act all funny or hate on stuff unless they got results that they can show all the time of what they've been doing in real life. I'm not a theorist. I don't believe in conspiracy. I believe in what we actually do and what God has blessed us to see that has worked around the nation. So I want to thank you guys for coming on. Josh, if you got anything to say to the people, let us know. We're going to rock and roll and get the freak out of here.
No, I look forward to every discussion we have and every person we bring on to show the truth to the people. And that's what it's all about right now.
Well, Josh, thank you so much for kicking butt. Thank you for kicking me over the edge when I did not know, anything about this political world. I just knew about the law. Thank you for opening up the doors for me to be able to come get involved. Thank you for all the connections, because I couldn't do this if God didn't give me you and Evelyn. So I just thank you so much for everything, bro. I thank you for continuing to be a fighter and a warrior and for leading the nation the way that you are. You are a true patriot and a true leader, man. And I just thank you so much for caring about everybody.
No problem, man. We got a lot of fight. We got to keep going.
Let's get it. Thank you, everybody, for coming on. And we thank you guys.
Thank you, everybody.
Because without you, we couldn't move forward or have a platform or have people who want to step in and fight. You guys are amazing. You guys are kicking butt. Continue to believe in God. Continue to believe in what he's given you. You don't need anybody else to stand with you on what God has given you to do. Just do the work he has for you and he will bless it. It will grow and he will use you for his purposes. We will catch you guys later. Y'all stay out of trouble. Be cool. Peace.